Hey, it's Noah, and welcome to Hollywood TV. Well, heart disease has been the leading cause of death among women in the U.S. for more than a century and impacts more than 60 million women today. For women of color, these rates are even higher, with 59% of black women and 43% of Hispanic women experiencing some kind of heart disease out there. So here to discuss more on this topic is attorney, award-winning television personality, and longtime women's heart health advocate, Star Jones. Hey, Star, good morning. Welcome to Hollywood TV.
Hey, Noah, good morning, and thank you so very much for putting this on the front burner of conversation. We know that May is Women's Health Month, and so a lot of people are focusing on women's health, and I want to continue to put the focus on women's heart health because, as you so eloquently put it, it's the #1 killer of women. It has been so for the last century, and it's really time we reduce those numbers.
Absolutely. So let's talk more about this, Star. So can you tell us about your heart health journey for those that might not know?
Yeah, I come to this work very personally, I should say. 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with heart disease. I was having some really strange symptoms that I attributed to having been overweight for so many years, but I had lost the weight. I was doing exercising, I was eating correctly, yet I was short of breath. I was experiencing some intense heart palpitations. I would get lightheaded or dizzy when I went from seated to standing, and so I did something that I encourage all women to do. I listened to my body. Went in to see my cardiologist, and I was diagnosed with heart disease. And it shouldn't have been a surprise because 4 generations of women that I could track back have had some form of heart disease, and in my own family. And I didn't know that until I started asking the questions. And so I had full-blown open heart surgery. And I think, though, had I known it, I might have been able to acknowledge it earlier and talk to my cardiologist about my own risks. So that's where my advocacy has come in. For the last 15 years, this has been my purpose in life, to make women more aware of our own risk and get us to do something about it.
Well, I'm so glad that you are advocating for all the women out there. And, Star, can you tell us more about the Letter to My Mother campaign and why it is so important to you? Because Mother's Day is right around the corner.
Mother's Day is right around the corner, and I'm so proud to partner with Medtronic this year with the Letters to My Mother campaign. This is a campaign designed to start the conversation, to find a connection point between the women in our families. Because, as you rightly pointed out, 60 million people, 60 million women in our country suffer from some form of heart disease, yet only just under half have ever had this conversation with their own families. 33% have not even have only had the conversation with their doctors, meaning literally a third of the women in the country have only asked the question to their doctors, what's my heart health risk? So it's really important for us to start this conversation, and A Letter to My Mother is your resource, your ability to start the conversation with your own mother, your sister, your aunt, your grandmother if she's still alive, so that you can find out what your family history is, which then makes you forewarned and forearmed, okay, to go in to have a conversation with your doctor and ask those questions. But it's going to be on us. I need you to know what your blood sugar is. I need you to know what your blood pressure is, because heart disease is not just having a heart attack. Like with me, it was a malfunctioning aortic valve. And so it's imperative that we understand there's a big circle that encompasses cardiovascular disease, and we want to address it all. Let's find out what's in our family so that we can get rid of those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important, Star, and I'm so glad that we're talking about this topic this morning for all of our women that watch us here at Hollywood TV. By the way, Star, what important questions now do women need to be asking their family members or doctors to start the conversation about heart health?
The first thing you want to do is let's find out, do we have any heart disease in our family? Ask your mother, your sister, the women in your maternal line, who in their family may have had some cardiovascular disease. Anybody anybody have a stroke? Did anybody have to have heart surgery? Start to put together your own family history in that regard. And then what you want to do is take those answers with you and start with one question to your doctor, because then your doctor will generate more. The one question of the doctor is, based on what I know now, what's my risk for heart disease? And that's going to open the door, because that will give you the opportunity to learn what you need to do. You need to get your screenings. You need to know your blood pressure. You need to have an EKG every year. That provides you with your own information source of what's going on in your body. And then let me take it to the next level. Once you know, you got to teach one, each one. Each one, teach one.
Yeah.
You got to pass the information along to other women. That's where a letter to my mother comes in. It's not just for your own family. It's for the women that you love. Touch points. Let's establish the conversation. A letter to my mother.com.
lettertomymother.com. We'll have all the information below. By the way, speaking of Letter to My Mother, Star, to wrap things up here, Mother's Day is this weekend. Do you have any plans?
I do. I'm speaking in church this Sunday on the spiritual calling of motherhood. And one of the things that you learn in being a mother is to take care of your family. You become the hedge of protection. But let's be clear, Noah, if mama ain't healthy, ain't nobody healthy in the family.
That's right.
Mama is
Tell
the
'em now.
hedge of protection. And we need you to put your health on the front burner. So it really does come at the right time that I am advocating for women's heart health, because the spiritual calling of becoming a mother or being a mother to your community means taking care of yourself also. Put your own oxygen mask on first before you try to help others, okay?
Absolutely, indeed. Preach, Star. That's right. Well, Star Jones, thank you so much for chatting with us here at iHollywood TV. It was a pleasure to have you on the
Bless
show,
you.
and you're welcome back anytime, my
I
friend.
appreciate you very, very much. Best wishes. Happy Mother's Day to your viewers. And again, each one teach one. A letter to my mother.com. Medtronic will make a donation for every one of you who joins me in pledging to talk about heart health with your family.
Thank you, Star. We'll have all that information below. Have a great Mother's Day.
Awesome. You too.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.